Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is Prestige and today we'll be covering every Storm game from 1 to 4. If you want another video on the other Storm games or the Boruto versions, you're gonna have to hit like at least 100 likes. So let's get straight into it. Storm 1 starts off just like how the original Naruto did, with Minato the 4th Hokage having to seal away the tailed beast, but at the cost of his own life. Then we cut to Naruto running like he gotta find a washroom before it's too late, but in reality he's just running up to Iruka sensei. So yeah, Naruto was probably dashing through the village because he was legitimately late. Iruka was buying him ramen for becoming a genin to show that he's proud of him. But of course Naruto gets a little big-headed, so Iruka's like, boy, niggas die every day, B. There's still Itachi out on the loose, like you gotta be careful. And Naruto wasn't really trying to hear none of that shit, just trying to eat his ramen up. Then we get into the survival exercise mission where we just gotta take on Kakashi, just whoop that boy's ass. Next he teaches teamwork, but there's no teammates in this game yet, so again he got his ass whooped. Next mission is mastering movements, aka just finding cats. They just have me going around Konoha trying to find lost kittens. God damn it. Trying to treat me like a fake ninja. Next we have to do agility training, aka just jumping through some trees as fast as possible. Next we have to channel our chakra control, which means running up a tree with chakra in our feet. Kakashi Haruke's final exam. This is where he takes on Team 7 to see if they're worthy of taking the bells from him. And you know how that ends. The way that they did the tuning exams is we pretty much just jump through some trees, and by the time you land, you just run face to face with Orochimaru, and then that's when that action probably started again. So we did what ninjas do, and we beat the dude. The Orochimaru appearance actually leads to a time crunch, since they can be disqualified if they don't reach back in a certain time, meaning they don't get into the tuning exam fights. Going into the exam duels, we start off with Sakura versus Ino, which ends up with Sakura being the person you play as and win, which is okay. But with Tenten, she absolutely lost. Like with Sakura, it was at least a draw, but Tamari just didn't get the canon result and got her ass whooped. It is what it is. The following match actually does have the proper winner, since we play as Naruto and beat the absolute snot out of Kiba. Showed that boy no mercy. The only thing that got spared was Akamaru. Then we have the absolutely unhinged battle where Neji lost his shit on Hinata, but this time we play as Hinata and whoop his ass. Next we got Lee vs Gaara, but in this sense, Lee actually wins like he should have in the anime. Like, if they handed Lee any other character in that room to fight but Gaara, I swear to God. Then they insert Jiraiya, the pervy sage himself. This is where he starts training Naruto, and Naruto starts to get a grip for like the next matches. Obviously though, not before Naruto decides to summon a giant toad and piss it off and try to take control of the thing. So of course we have to beat it up to make it love us, listen to us, I don't even know. Just be loyal to us. And at first it was so much harder than when you later are able to re-unlock like these type of boss fights. The very initial boss fight you have versus any of these giants is so much quicker and has a whole different like, oh my god, the fight was so much harder. Now it's time for the finale. We gotta take out Neji first, then it's my boy Shikamaru vs Tenten, Sasuke takes on Gaara, and then they all end up dipping after everything happens there. The Hokage dies, Kankuro gets his ass whooped by my boy Shino. We beat Gaara's ass yet again, this time to like only really agonize dude, to where he started tweaking out and like transforming. So Naruto hopped in, ended up kicking him right in his face and like pretty much saving Sasuke. Going back, we have Kakashi taking on that boy Kabuto, cause you know Kabuto was fodder and they were trying to get in the barrier. Meanwhile, in that barrier, that boy Orochimaru was trying to put Hiruzen through hell, and Hiruzen started putting belt on him and those Hokages. What was we talking about? But alas, he couldn't survive forever, and the only way to beat him in this case was the Reaper Decio, which he hoped would have took Orochimaru's life, but only momentarily fucked up his arms. Now we cut back to Gaara and Naruto, who've been going hard pretty much this entire time, but Gaara got kind of tired of getting his ass whooped. The fight was a little too even, so he's like, I gotta show you the animal I can become, and this edgelord did it. So this leads to Naruto ultimately taking on Shukaku, which is pretty crazy. He's just a kid taking on a whole-tailed beast, but he was able to tap into quite a bit of chakra from his tailed beast, so it went decently. Shukaku ends up being a pretty cool fight, like overall. Like I really do love that there was beast fights from this like first game on. It was actually like 10 out of 10. But ultimately, you know that Naruto doesn't like beat the absolute goofy Otagara like that. The way that he won this was with the talk no jutsu on the ground afterwards. He's like, listen, we all been through some shit, my boy. Everything's all good. Just come hang out in the leaf like a little bit more. Like you allowed over here. But yeah, took a while to actually get there. He had to charge up a chakra headbutt and absolutely headbutted the shit out of Gaara before this talk no jutsu could take place. This is the moment Gaara understood plot armor, power of friendship, moving along. Naruto has a conversation with Iruka, pretty much just asking him, like, why do people become heroes? And Iruka's like, cause it's in our blood, gang, we ninjas. Not everyone a ninja, we ninja. And he's like, know what, that's facts, B. That's exactly what I thought. Insert Itachi Uchiha. He was stopping by the village to see what's up with Sasuke, but since he's a wanted man for like what he did to his clan, he ends up fighting with Kakashi. That boy Guy fights Kisame, and meanwhile, Jiraiya is just peacefully training with Naruto, but that's when they find out that Itachi's here. So they go and try to check him, but it's too late. Sasuke is already fighting him and getting his ass whooped, so in the game they hopped in, but yeah, they didn't want to render like a whole hallway for this one fight, but it was originally just in a hallway. And then they show them fighting with Jiraiya, but that didn't even happen. He just dodged the fight because he's like, Kisame, this a waste of our time, and dude is low-key strong. He can maybe kill us. Well, you. Buzz. After getting some training done, Naruto ends up running into Tsunade where they scrap it out and he actually whoops her ass for once, which feels good. She's hot, but this bitch is so smug. Then after Naruto does a little bit more training, we cut to Tsunade taking on Kabuto. We end up finding out there's a little bit of history there, which we obviously know the sages all have that history. But then it's Naruto's turn, and after putting a little bit of belt to ass, Naruto ends up actually losing and pretty much dying. So as Naruto is down, the two Sannin jump the old third one and ultimately leads to a pretty cool cinematic too. Anywho, Naruto makes a full recovery. Tsunade's talking nuts. He's like, lady, I can whoop your ass. He goes flying at her, obviously gets his ass put the fuck down, cause what did he think he was doing? And then Tsunade sees a bit of her brother in him, a young man who passed who also wanted to become the Hokage when he was older. This fight represents when Sasuke wasn't having it and was kind of in like the bed, the fight that Kakashi pretty much broke up. But moving on, it's going on to the chapter where we gotta save Sasuke from ultimately being snatched by Orochimaru's goons. So we end up going through some trees, and then the first fight begins. For some reason, it's Kimimaro versus Neji. Don't ask me nothing about that. It's just kind of like looped all the fights into one, I'm pretty sure. So then next it's Shikamaru versus them, which this is not exactly how it went, but good enough for me. Moving along. After this, Kimimaro dips off, but we gotta catch up to him because Sasuke's in that barrel right there. And then this one we decide to have a full-on fight with him, even though Kimimaro is pretty nasty. But we all know what happened. Naruto didn't need to take out Kimimaro because that boy Lee came in clutch and started to whoop his ass off that drunken shit up until he couldn't do it no more. Then it was Gaara's turn. And yeah, we got all that. So crazy to me that Gaara really killed this sick ass dude. This is the final fight of Storm 1. After the initial fight, Naruto and Sasuke have a rematch and you can see that Kakashi's still on his way. After they have their heated argument about how Naruto doesn't want to give him over to Orochimaru, Sasuke sees this as the only way that he will get stronger and fully be able to get his vengeance on his brother. So he gives into the curse mark and they start scrapping out. Talking about hands. Ultimately, in the game, Naruto wins, but in the anime is how this actually ends. So, after their clash, it knocks out Naruto completely, and Kakashi was too late. Sasuke was injured and able to just walk off, looking at his best friend lie there, not really caring. Kakashi finding him, I think it's cute saying, knowing you must have put up a real fight. But I just want to end the Storm 1 segment before we get into Storm 2 with just hearing out Jiraiya's words. I'm going to leave a timestamp for if you want to skip them.
Just forget Sasuke.
What?
Sasuke went to Orochimaru of his own free will. No matter what you do, he's not going to change. Don't delude yourself into thinking you can bring him back. It's hopeless, a fool's errand.
He may mean nothing to you, pervy sage. But he's my friend!
Does a friend hurt his comrades? What happened was destined to happen. Dismiss him from your mind and move on. To be a shinobi, you need more than strength and jutsu. You need judgment to make the right decisions. You must become smarter. The longer you remain a fool, the harder it will be for you to survive.
Fine.
All right, then.
If that's what being smarter means, I'll remain a fool my entire life. I don't care. I'll create even more amazing jutsu, so I can bring Sasuke back!
The thought of my leaving you to come up with jutsu on your own? The best you'd come up with is another one of your goofy, sexy jutsu numbers.
What?
But this is more than foolish. It's so colossally foolish it might even work. I hope you're ready for some serious training. Now then, shall we?
Storm 2 starts with Pain destroying the village. Sakura distraught on her knees after seeing what's happened to their home, and she does the one technique she's mastered throughout this series, calling for Naruto. Then he pops out. But before this, we just came back to the village after our trading with Jiraiya. Talking with Jiraiya in the village, Sakura sees Naruto, so calls out for him. He obviously pays her some mind, and Jiraiya ends up leaving them to have some alone time to catch up. He's like, I'll catch you later, squirt. Checking in on Lady Tsunade, she's pretty happy to see Naruto, but quickly lets him know that he's up for a training day because she want to know what the current Team 7 is looking like. On the way to the training field, Sakura wants to warm up with Naruto, so we end up whooping her ass. And then it's time for Kakashi's turn. They just can't run them yet.
Have to work a bit harder. All right, bring it.
Gotta get a new one. First quick time.
Fireball jutsu.
It's huge!
Got him. Damn. This Naruto is crazy.
Damn. The man just aura farms way too hard and starts standing on some rocks to come down and keep on getting his ass kicked over and over
You
still.
do this well.
It really didn't end anything. I could do our job. Whatever, he's already done. Alright. Another quick time event. a little bit unrighteous. He had to.
They've grown.
And like that, they actually retrieved the bells. Quite proud of my boy Naruto. Moving along. We talked to Tsunade, but that's nothing really important. But in the village, we end up talking to a man who gives us a request. And it's pretty much him being pissed at Naruto for attacking him outside the village. But it really wasn't Naruto. We come to find out there's just Naruto clones and whatnot, which is like game canon, I'm pretty sure. And we just gotta whoop their ass real quick. And it becomes like a pretty recurrent enemy like throughout the entire game. Beating these clones pretty much leads to a cursed doll dropping, and when you bring it back to the village, you end up meeting a man who says his friend made these dolls and it sucks the chakra out of people. Naruto wants to go and get some ramen, and he runs into Shikamaru, who's chilling with Tamari, who's his future wife, so good on him. Ultimately, he lets Naruto know that he's not a Chunin, even though everybody else is, even Sakura, like, even that bum. Afterwards, he gets some ramen with Aruka and starts complaining all about the whole situation. Aruka's like, bro, chill out. You was up there with Lord Jiraiya, looking at frogs and women, like, you're all good. Then we cut into the plot of my boy Gaara getting kidnapped. Like, how you a grown man and get kidnapped? But it happens. He had to save the... No, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is Deidara and Sorcery. They're pulling up on the village hidden in the sand as we speak. See, this here is Deidara, but little did Deidara know that once he got in, Gaara would just be standing in front of him, aura farming, because he knew that he had an intruder in his village. Man is the Kazekage for a reason. Like, hold on. So they start to tussle in, which leads to the quick time event.
I almost missed that thing. Oh, so this is the one that if you actually kind of properly, that gives you back health. I thought it was 3. No, 3 North, 4 does it.
Deidara mans his bird and ends up flying off. We chase him on a cloud like we're Goku and just blow him down up until the final quick time event happens, where Gaara has to make the choice to save his village, but it's going to take way too much chakra, which is why he ultimately got captured.
Save him from. Incredible! What a huge shield! Blocking that is amazing. I don't think he needs his praise. Guess I'll back off for now. A hotel peaceful. Who's gonna try to kill him?
Deidara just survived that?
Is it over then?
I would say not.
Yeah, probably not.
That was pretty close. No!
Rest in peace, my granny. She got hit with the bazooka. Kaboom. Kablow. Kaboom. Anywho, did my boy dirty and they kidnapped him. And my boy Naruto got word of this. And Naruto, being the sappy ass dude that he is, instead of rushing to Gaara's side, he starts having a flashback moment. Like, dude, what are you doing?
But I had Iruka-sensei and friends who were there for me. They really saved me. And he had to fend for himself. A lot longer than I ever did.
So eventually, touching down in the sand village, we meet this dude who I'm pretty sure isn't... No, I'm not going to go into that. I don't think the game covers it. But we also come back to Tsunade, who's giving Team Guy the exact same mission that she gave to Team Kakashi. So they're headed on the way there now too. Heading out, Team Guy ends up running into Kisame, who makes water clones. They end up splitting up to fight them more evenly. They end up clashing. Of course, we get the beats to the Kisame clones, and then we cut back to the perspective of Team 7. 6, 7. Team 7 picks up Lady Chifuyo and they're ready to hit the road, where they run into Itachi. We end up having a fight with him, but they explain how it seemed like he was just buying time, which he indeed was. Lady Chifuyo decides to drop the lore that the Akatsuki's plan is to take control of the tailed beasts and extract them out of the Jinchuriki. But the person holding the, beast is going to die if the beast gets taken out, which is pretty tragic for Gaara. But we have Gaara laid out in front of the Akatsuki. They're pretty much just saying their plans. But then the jutsu starts and the extraction begins. Gaara gets hit by some twin dragon looking shit and it was a wrap. He got sent into a white space where he started having some like hallucination where he's just by himself. It was a moment for him for sure. Naruto, having no idea that Gaara pretty much just died, is still having some conversation. Team Guy ends up at the sealed off place first, and Kakashi arrives. They end up using the Byakugan to actually see all of the signs. We gotta go take them down, but as we're doing so, we get attacked by clones. Before that, Chifuyo was talking about Naruto and like why does he care so much about Gaara, where Kakashi just drops the lore, like that boy's a Jinchuriki too, they've been through the same struggles, the village will hate you for it, like it is what it is, they still moved on. And then yeah, we whipped the clones. This is where Sakura actually has the best arc she's ever had and is halfway through the arc. She punches through the rock and we're finally able to get inside to help our boy Gaara. Charging in, Naruto is face first with Sasori and Deidara, where they are reminded about a conversation they had with Itachi.
Doesn't he have any other identifying characteristics?
Was that really the best description he could come up with?
Now that you know him, yeah.
Deidara ends up taking off with Gaara to where Naruto has to follow him. Kakashi ends up just going with, and Lady Chifuyo stays back with Sakura to take on Sasori. Sasori, realizing that this fight may be a little something, ends up shedding that grotesque little suit that he had on and shows his real form, this red-headed dude. Either way, I think it's pretty funny. His weapon's a puppet, but you end up finding out that he's a puppet too anyways. But the fight commences, we end up beating his ass, and we get a quick time event like always. You take a moment to look at how she's swinging him. Helicopter, helicopter. Not so fast, cause Sasori actually gets back up for a moment, informing Sakura he's actually poisoned her. Attempting to give the final blow to Sakura, he is stopped in the last moments by Chifuyo's two puppets. They stabbed him right up in his guts, but then we find out a little bit of lore on Sasori and how he knows who Chifuyo is.
I created this jutsu for you, you know. For the boy who made puppets of his parents. To try to relieve your loneliness.
What?
With this jutsu, the user can even breathe life into a puppet.
Nonsense. I have a problem now. I was going to go get rid of Orochimaru next. This ruins my plans.
Wait, you know Orochimaru? Where is he?
This is where they actually get a bit of the drop to where he is, which we'll go into the next arc. But I don't know why Sakura was acting all heavy like she's going to do something. But whatever, moving along. This is the end of her screen time. Catching up to Deidara, Kakashi and Naruto start giving him the absolute beats, but during the beats, Naruto has his shadow clones trying to secure Gaara. Realizing this, Deidara is like, know what, the dude's dead anyways. I was supposed to take his body back, but it doesn't really matter. We already got the tails. So he ends up just leaving him to Naruto to do whatever with. Naruto ends up bringing him back to the village, and Sakura realizes that he's dead, but Lady Chifuyu decides to sacrifice her own life and bring back Gaara's. Rest in peace. She a real one.
I don't get it. What is she doing?
She's bringing Gaara back.
She's bringing him back? What are you talking about? How is that even possible?
With the reanimation ninjutsu. That uses her own life energy. Lady Chio. She's sacrificing her own life.
Place your hands on mine.
Okay.
Just trying to peacefully pass on. You hear Naruto screaming at you.
It's...
Gaara! Granny wished
But
for
yeah,
it.
rest in peace, Granny. She really died for the cause. R.I.P. So of course, getting back to the Leaf, Naruto has to have his little chatty chat with Aruka Sensei, just checking in. Hold on, what do you mean by that? What part of him growing? So checking in with the finest Hokage, Lady Tsunade, she tells us a team of 3 is looking for a sparring partner, so go pull up on them. We see it's Hinata, Shino, and Kiba, so we end up giving them belt to ass. And then we start talking with Shikamaru and Choji, but then Shikamaru notices that something's off. And this is how we first meet Sai and end up just whooping his ass too because he's a weirdo. Realizing he's outmatched, Sai just chooses to dip, and then Ino pops out, grabbing her team members. It is what it is. Just for us to end up going to Lady Tsunade's office, and she pretty much tells us that same punk we just beat up in the street is now the new member of Team 7, our new Sasuke. Again, it is what it is. Naruto wasn't too happy. Sakura breaks down that the rescue mission comes from sorcery, and now we know where Sasuke is, so we gotta go save him. Naruto gets in his feels about it. And ultimately, we end up going on the trip with our new team. And that's when Yamato says that they should spar. He takes Sakura as a teammate, so they both got their ass kicked. It was his fault. Naruto decides that it's only right to take a moment and get in his feels again about his baby girl Sasuke. At this point, Sai decides that he should drop some lore about himself too. He can't be nonchalant forever.
It's because Sasuke's more than a teammate to Naruto. He's like a brother. You have somebody special to you, don't you? If you do,
I don't. Not at all.
Please understand emotion and shit. Sai's a little autistic.
Someone I could call my older brother. But when he died, I didn't feel a thing. Not only that, when my brother
That's he doesn't know how to feel. That's crazy.
expression I was supposed to be making.
It's at least a damn moment. Like, what? What do you go? Autism.
I don't have these in Akatsuki spy.
After all this blabbing is done, we hit the infamous bridge scene where we run into Kabuto and Orochimaru. Ultimately, Yamato is disguised as sorcery even though we know he's dead, hoping that they don't know. It seems to all honestly be going good up until Orochimaru pulls up, and they put an end to that charade pretty quick, ultimately leading to us just having to fight them.
Not good. I can't afford any carelessness.
I'll draw Orochimaru away. Please cover me, Lord Sasori.
Should I get some distance while Kabuto draws Orochimaru?
While Yamato and them dealt with Kabuto, Naruto had a nice one-on-one with Orochimaru, which actually leads to some pretty nice, sexy scenes, I can't
Push it
lie.
back a little.
Some of the nicest quick time events. But ultimately, there was so much rage pouring out in Naruto during this fight that he transformed into a three-tailed version of the beast, which is very unstable and uncontrollable. But it ends up putting that work in and like shooting down him and his snakes, because dude made like 1 billion, so it was just the only thing that Naruto could do at this point. I remember this being one of the only quick time events that I genuinely had some trouble timing, which is kind of funny. But the quick time event was pretty sexy, and you get a different animation for when you fail, which I haven't really been showing off. I don't fail that often.
That's right. Know what to do and trust your heart to me. Come, give him a glimpse of our power.
Alright, talk to me, Karama. Talk to me.
So since Naruto is continuously just crashing out, Yamato has no choice but to restrain him, aka give him the Batman treatment, absolutely whoop his ass, had Sakura finish him off with kunai, the trash bastard. After that, we find out that Sai's doing some snake shit, which of course he is. Then he decides to pull up on Naruto the second he gets to where Sasuke is and starts dueling it out with him. After we whoop his ass for like, what, the second time now? I don't know why he keeps coming back for seconds. After that, we see the Edgelord farming aura like he always does, and Naruto can't help but beat some sense into him.
There we go. We just had a hit off.
After kicking Sasuke's ass, he puts up his hand like he's gonna hit the meanest Kirin up until he's stopped by Orochimaru and Kabuto. And he's like, "Why'd you stop me?" And they're like, "Because that shit ain't never worked. Once. Stop using that shit, gang." So he's like, "Alright then," and just dips off on Naruto, who feels pretty helpless, but it is what it is. He tells Tsunade, then has a talk with the OG of Konoha the moment he gets back.
Another mission? They're really keeping you busy. Well, dear.
Sorry to keep you waiting. You're late. Let's hurry.
She going crazy as shit with that broom. After some glazing of Sasuke, Kakashi just decides the best course of action is just to put in some sparring work. So after I annihilate him, we get a look at our villains for this arc. Two Akatsuki members about to just walk up in the leaf like they him or something. They kinda was.
Just be quiet and follow me, young.
Didn't you even hear what I was just saying? Did you? Stonewalling again?
Shut up. Don't let me say it again. Just be quiet and follow me.
Yeah, so, where are we headed now?
The Land of Fire. Apparently the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is there.
The Nine Tails, huh? So, another sacrifice for Lord Chashi. I'll play with him and hurt him real good before I finish him off.
Hey, yo.
I'll lose your king and the game is over.
We
so...
cut to Asuma and Shikamaru talking about Choki and how Shikamaru always seems to lose, even though he's pretty much a genius. And then Asuma drops a riddle which he's not trying to answer.
I best be off.
There's something you have to do?
And he's off to go spar with Naruto to unlock a new jutsu. But just give him the beats. He ends up running into Kurenai, starts rizzing it up, talking to the baddie, and then Shikamaru pops up and lets us know that Tsunade wants to talk. Going over to Tsunade, she's letting us know that the Akatsuki are in the Land of Fire. And then one hoe tells two hoes, and then they tell three hoes. Now there's four hoes at the function, and no one wants to pitch for the bottle. Like running up on them, Asuma lets them know what's up. Like we can really scrap it out. We end up beating the shit out of it and just dropping him. And then he kind of reveals that he's immortal, which how the hell were we supposed to know that when we first started tussling with him? And can just kind of regenerate anything. So the sick bastard decides to go to his god, do his little move, and just get our boy Asuma swiped out of existence. Practically hit him with a Hawkeye, but like a demon version. I don't even know. This guy a freak. I can't lie. Man's had a seppuku himself. Seppuku? Seppuku? And then boom, my man Asuma got just deleted. Shikamaru was heartbroken. It couldn't be true. Oh man. Losing his mind over what just unfolded, Shikamaru decides to fight head on, ultimately beating him, which you know what happens when they take an L in these series. They end up just running away like some cowards. So we go and try to heal and check on Asuma, but his time was over. It's whatever though, cause Shikamaru was for sure gonna get that vengeance. Same day even. Like when he ran into Naruto, who was training at this point and gets the news, he ain't even trying to talk to the man.
Listen.
Sorry, I can't talk. I've got business to take care of.
Business?
Always going so damn hard with
Why was
the
he?
broom. Tsunade calls in Team 7 and ultimately disbands Asuma's team because they're down a man and doesn't really think that he should go for vengeance, which Shikamaru isn't feeling at all.
This isn't like you at all. Are you so eager to die? We're not stupid. We have no intention of running straight to our deaths, believe me. It's just what? We don't intend to run away and keep on living without fulfilling our duty. We aren't going to live without meaning.
Grow up, you three. The shadow of death hangs over all ninja. Some deaths may be harder to accept than others, but unless one gets past that, there can be no future. Face reality. There's 3 of you, okay? A full squad has...
A full squad has 4. Then it's all right. Right, Lady Tsunade?
Kakashi?
I'll take over as Team 10's leader and go with them. Fair enough?
What are you...
Before you go, even if you try to stop them. Might as well send me along so I can keep an eye on them. And stop them from doing anything stupid.
All right.
So with Kakashi joining, Tsunade decides that they can go on the mission, so they pull up on the villains and they get to scrapping. Ultimately, Hidan gets taken to a different place by Shikamaru where he starts to get a little more serious fighting him, where Kakazu drops some lore that he's like 900 years old. He fought the first Hokage, whatever. Why he was trying to flex that. The man is just a grandpa. He ends up getting beat, but he was still pretty in the game. So Naruto came in at a pretty clutch moment because Kakashi was kind of running out of steam. And then we cut back to Shikamaru, who has his proper fight with this head-on goof, and we get the beautiful cinematic of how he ended him. I told you that he was gonna get that get back.
A while ago.
We all knew it.
No way. Don't tell me you let me in here during that fight. No way. Who is this guy? A deep hole and a mess of paper bombs. Even you must know what's next. Why? You? Curses. Like chickens. Always come home to roost. You cursed my teacher dead. Can't just let you keep living, running around free. That there is your grave.
I will die. I'll eventually drag myself out and avenge myself.
Well, you see, this forest is a special place. Only members of my clan are allowed in here. We can watch you for all eternity.
I swear, Lord Tessie will punish you. The severest judgment ever dealt.
You don't scare me a bit. Neither does your god. You and me, we believe in different things.
What?
Me, I believe in the will of fire.
Good work, Shikamaru.
Thanks.
I bequeath my will of fire to you.
See ya.
After that crazy arc, we go to Mount Mokubo, where we pretty much just train with our teammates, but then we cut to our first glimpse at Pain and Conan, who will come more into play later. But meanwhile, we talk with the Toad for a little bit, and then ultimately just spar with Jiraiya. It was probably just a Jiraiya clone, but whatever. I'll tell you why it was probably just a clone. I don't think he was still around. Because during our introduction to Pain, this is what he fully said.
Yes. What about you?
I've already finished my preparations. There were no problems.
I see.
Still, that's just what I'd expect from my former teacher. With that
that single attack, he managed to render one of my bodies unusable.
However, even that was nothing more than a temporary setback.
Yes, alright. Here we go.
Kakashi's leaving the Sand Village, gonna go home, but he feels a disturbance in the force, but going home it's already too late. Pain's pretty much destroyed the village, and we just gotta try to take him on. We beat his ass, but it doesn't really lead to much in the long run. There's a lot of them. So Choji and Ino come to back him up. That doesn't do too much either in the end. It is what it is. At least they tried. Meanwhile, Sakura was just there crying, just looking at the sky. Well, Kiba and his team was trying to fight Konan, who ended up to just be a clone. Then Tsunade finally pulls up and tries to put an end to it, but that didn't really do much either. They ended up getting their ass kicked, which ultimately led to her watching her homegirl get her soul sucked out of her. Just look at that. Damn. I need that. At this point, Pain actually just clears out the village. It's completely destroyed. Sakura's just sitting there seeing all the dead bodies, and she does what any real one would do. She called for Naruto, who Aura farmed after a leaf drop and popped up on a motherfucking toad and got the scrap, and just look at this.
I'm gonna settle this!
Bring it.
I know that it's just a reanimated body, but they couldn't have caught their own mans. Like, I know they got one pretty hard, but that was so cold to just dodge them like that.
No more stage jutsu.
This, folks, was the game changer that woke the beast up inside of Naruto, watching Hinata die in his place. This absolutely shook him to the core, leading for him to rely on Kurama the Nine-Tails' power.
Because I...
Magnificent.
This pretty much leads Naruto to get lost in the sauce and reflect, where he meets his father, Minato, who he only knows as the fourth Hokage, but he's like, listen up, I'm your pops. Naruto's like, why do you see this in me? He's like, I thought you were tough enough, and I was right. And Naruto's like, I don't think so, blah, blah. He's like, shut that shit up, I'm gonna rebuild this seal, and you go fight that boy normal. You got this. Even though he said Pain's tough, Pops didn't give a damn, so he went back to putting the Pain
on Pain, you know? Not down on They are on the man. Hard.
So going up to Pain, who just got beat badly. We tell him that we know that the real one ain't here. He's a little confused, and we tell him that in Sage mode you can sense chakras, and the chakras are just off. It feels like he's being watched. And there was a message left by Jiraiya, and now he understands what Jiraiya was trying to say to him. Because, of course, he just said he felt it. So we pull up on the real Pain, and we hit him with the talk no jutsu. He ultimately decides to give up his own life to bring back everybody that he killed in the Heavenly Village. And Naruto is finally respected and treated as the hero. Just look at Iruka, he's so proud of his boy. By the village that at one point hated him. But hey. Now on to Storm 3. We begin with Minato fighting the Nine Tails, who's just crashing out on the village, destroying everything in his path, even throwed a tailed beast bomb, but simply because he's under the control of the masked man. We find out who the masked man is later, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So the plot pretty much here is he's using the Sharingan to control the tailed beast so that he can attack the village. After this battle takes place, he ends up having a one-on-one with the masked man, who is pretty powerful because he has some type of ability where he like everything goes through him. He pretty much has like a time warp thing to him. So they have their nice little one-on-one. Minato ends up beating him up pretty good up until he has to call for a little timeout. And this is where we get to play as the third Hokage, who gets to take on the tailed beast by himself like a savage. Just playing. He had a bit of backup. Quite a bit of backup. This is a pretty cool boss fight, in all honesty. You just get to beat up the tailed beast, and I remember playing this during the demo, and I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And like that, the leaf took care of the beast. And meanwhile, Minato is able to release the Jinchuriki from the Master Man's grip, meaning it's still kind of going crazy, but it's not under his control anymore. And look at this, look at it. Oh! With the swiftness on top of him, flying Raijin. Damn, level 2. And then we just finally finish him off. After this fight, the whole Leaf Village on top of the frogs are just trying to jump the Nine Tails. But it's not really too much avail. It's about to drop a whole tail beast bomb. So Minato just decides to teleport it away. But that leaves it for like a one-on-one where he ends up sealing it, I'm pretty sure, with Naruto's mother. That leads to it being inside of Naruto, which is where we begin Naruto's story. Naruto just chilling, trying to talk with Kakashi and Sakura, when Kiba comes up and says that Tsunade has been dismissed as the Hokage, and the next Hokage, the 6th, is going to be Danzo. And Kakashi's like, did you say Danzo? But we'll get more into that. He also informs Naruto that he pretty much dropped the hit on that boy Sasuke, declaring him a rogue ninja, so he's just free game for anyone to get. Oh, and did I mention that Sasuke is in the Akatsuki? Just listen to this ominous-ass villain that's about to become the next Hokage. Okay. This man is worse than Orochimaru.
The darkness, and I finally received my chance. Sarutobi, I'll establish my ideal ninja world by my own methods.
So pretty much Danzo's going to be at the 5 Kage summit, and instead of letting him, let Sasuke get killed, he wants to talk to Danzo, maybe try to change his mind. And Yamato got told by Kakashi that Naruto would probably try to do that, so he got sent to stop Naruto, but obviously just got his ass whooped instead, because of course he did. So yeah, we flattened that boy Yamato like a pancake, and then we run into Kakashi. Well, more like he pulls up on us like, I know what you're trying to do. But listen, Sasuke took out Killer Bee. Well, he beat him pretty bad, and now the Raikage is pretty pissed, and that's the whole reason why they even having a meeting. And Naruto's like, alright, well, I don't know, man. I gotta talk to the Raikage now then, because this is all getting out of hand. And I know my boy Sasuke, he's even like that, bruh. He's being controlled. And then Kakashi kind of starts to clock it. He's like, huh, if that masked dude is really the one who took control of the Nine Tails, like the only person that can really do that is like Madara. But if the Force said he fought him, then he fought somebody that can really control the Nine Tails and cause this all 16 years ago. So they start coming to a conclusion that it's probably just Madara, but they don't know nothing yet. Moving along. We move on to Sasuke's new team. Jugo, Saigetsu, and Karin. Sasuke's squad is freezing their balls off while he's just aura farming, sitting there like always, reminiscing on a conversation that he had with Toby. They were just waiting for the white Zetsu who finally pulls up. We tried speaking to the Raikage who was too busy feeling like a tough guy, so doing what we had to do, I just messed him up. The Raikage is strong though, so Kakashi decides that it's time that we just tuck our tails and give up. Toby pulls up and decides to just start trolling Naruto after they have to let the Raikage just walk away to go to the summit meeting. So Naruto just decides to beat his ass. Toby is more of like a troll type thing and we completely think that he's Madara. He decides after that he loses to tell the truth about Itachi Uchiha. The whole reason that Sasuke is pulling up to this meeting in the first place to actually get his hands on Danzo as we speak. So the truth is, although that Itachi did massacre his clan, he didn't want to. It was completely Danzo's fault. He had given the ultimatum that, hey, your clan pretty much gonna die anyways because the whole war gonna start and everybody die, or you can kill everybody and protect your little brother, which is what he chose to do. Anywho, back at the meeting, this dude from the Hyuga clan is like, Danzo, I can see your arm is full of just you, the Uchiha eyes. And he just starts trying to play it cool. Like, what do you mean, Uchiha eyes? I don't fuck with them, you chiggers. You bugging. And then Zetsu pulls up. Meanwhile, Sasuke and his crew is pretty much just hitting the first door where they run into Rai. So we had to give him the beats. A good old case of them. My Kirin missed that first, but I never missed the second one. I am not Canon Sasuke. And the problem only escalates from here because this one Gaara tries to hop in, acting like he was gonna do something, even tried to hit Sasuke with a talk no jutsu, but he forgot he wasn't the main character, so of course that didn't work. So they obviously had to jump him. What else could they have really done? But that wasn't the greatest idea because it made him just awaken his Susanoo, which they would have obviously had an issue trying to clear out. So Sasuke starts smacking these boys and just pretty much ruins the entire basement floor of this place, which just leads to Karen getting knocked out, which of course she does. Sasuke comes over not really caring about her. He's like, get up if you will. And then we gotta just kill a whole bunch of dudes. Then yeah, the Aura Farmer just hanging from the frickin' ceiling, death staring Danzo. Catches the blade like, ooh. Stopped him instantly, pushed that boy back, pushed the old samurai back, and of course Danzo just ran for it. He ain't want any of that smoke. And then now this chick's running in front of us with these guys, so of course we had to make some quick work of them too, because the main target was just Danzo. They are still Kages and had some pretty good fight in them though, because like look at how they started doing Sasuke after. That's just Mizuki's aid, and he broke the Susanoo shield, like, ooh. And then this old man, Anoki, like, he's the worst person to run into at this moment, I'm not gonna lie. Masked Man is like the only one that could have saved Sasuke from this, and he actually did. So Sasuke got bailed out once now. Like, let's throw up a bail counter. But from here, Toby's like, yeah, this was fun, but my homie's injured, so we'll be heading out of here. Toodle doo. But before that, he sends off Sasuke, and he's like, listen, I'm gonna get the 10 tails, and I'm gonna control that bitch. You already know that I'm Madara, right? Yeah, I'm Madara, and I'm gonna do this. And that's all I had to say. Thanks for coming to my PSA. TED Talks every Monday. So he's like, yeah, why do you think that we were collecting the Jinchuriki to even begin with? And then the Uchiha have like a super jutsu that can take over the moon, and he declared war and just dipped, which of course he did. We then cut to Naruto taking on Itachi himself, and after beating him, Itachi makes him deep throat a crow. Upon reminiscing on his elder Sasuke, Kisame pulls up on Killer, be like, yo, what's up, let's duel. So they start going toe to toe. Even though he's named the non-tailed beast, every fight he fights, Kisame just loses, man. Like, I can't lie, this man has a losing streak. Defeated, that boy Killer B decides to take the blade from him. He's stunting, then Raikage comes and like whoops his ass. I'm not too sure why. Of course, Gaara is still boy crushing on Naruto, telling him all about the love that they have for each other and how he means the world to him and how he'll suck him off in the washroom right now if he follow him. Just take his hand, blah blah blah, all that good shit. But they're pretty much just telling Naruto that he can't go. So, in order to go, he of course starts whooping ass like he normally does. And of course Sai's on some finicky shit like he normally is, talking about we're not strong enough for Sasuke, so we're not gonna go do it. So Sakura and the boys end up whooping his ass, but what they didn't know is once they won, she was gonna knock out them to go see Sasuke by herself. Like a dumbass, she had the goats Akamaru and Rock Lee with her, and still did some bullshit. Meanwhile though, the masked man pulls up on Danzo like, yo, what up Danzo, it's been a minute. Meanwhile, Sakura is girl crushing on Sasuke as she normally do, just thinking about all their memories together, the times he got her wet, whatever. When we cut back to what happened, the masked man took out the apprentices to Danzo and set Sasuke up for a beautiful one-on-one with the man. Look at how he just pulls him out of thin air, ready to fade him. So Sasuke walks up on the soon-to-be Hokage, and Kirin's told to not interfere by masked man, and they just start going at it, which of course they do. Of course, Danzo being the bitch that he is, he takes the fat L and decides he can do nothing except for use a girl as a shield. Then after he did that, he really thought he checkmated Sasuke. Up until Sasuke had a devious ass look on his face and just said 2-for-1 special. That bitch was getting annoying anyways. Oh my god, and look at how happy he looks saying one more down, brother, knowing he took out his own teammate. This guy is a certified menace, but Danzo, in a last-ditch attempt, decides to use all the eyes in his arm to pretty much just self-destruct, hoping that it kills them both. Ultimately, Masked Man got them out of the way though, so he ended up using the Vegeta for nothing. Kinda like, you know, Vegeta. Cutting back to Naruto, he's still stuck in the wooden box, so of course he breaks out and just beats up his teacher yet another time, for which he apologizes for, but then he's back on the chase for Sasuke. Meanwhile, cutting back to Sasuke, he has some company. His old girlfriend, Sakura, comes over. Masked Man just decides to dip because it's not even worth it. And she tries to convince him that she's ready to switch over and just go with him, so he tells her to kill Kirin, which is a bit too heavy of a burden for her because she can't just kill this random ass chick. If she knew that she had the crush that Ino had, then like maybe she would have, but she had no idea. She tried to turn on Sasuke, almost got messed up until she got saved by the bell like she always does. After we beat him, for some reason, out of everybody, Sakura thinks she can be the voice of reason while he just gives up his vengeance whole thing he's been doing this entire time that Naruto and Kakashi both told him don't lead to something right, and almost gets smoked till Kakashi pulls up like that guy because he is him, pal. Kakashi is a little bit salty because he could sense that Sasuke meant to actually kill Sakura, so he just warns him to let the vengeance thing go, and Sasuke reminds him like he hasn't been his teacher in a couple years, so seeing no other alternative, they start scrapping it out. And meanwhile, Naruto is still on the way, but after the fight, he almost wipes out Sakura yet again up until Naruto swoops in and picks up his lady. After Sasuke does his emo rant for quite a while about how nobody understands him, Naruto decides screw all this shit and walks up on him and tells him that the answer lies in the heart of battle and starts whooping his ass. This is a pretty good fight because it has cinematic cutscenes and it also has where you have to pick if you want to do the hero or legend, and of course I always do legend.
That's such a clean, that was such a clean time. Now I just need to come back to the store.
After the battle ends, Naruto damn near hallucinates holding his boyfriend's hand, and then they start talking in Omori white space. Masked Man ends up just dipping off with Sasuke after the white space talk is finished, and then we're back to the village where Yamato is pretty pissed off about Naruto whooping his ass. And also Kiba feels pretty betrayed, but Lee just did not care because of course he's still in love with Sakura, so it didn't even matter that much. After this, Naruto pretty much gets sent on a mission that isn't a mission. He's just going to go to an island so that he's left out of the ninja war. Of course, before we go though, we end up sparring with Guy and kicking his ass. Meanwhile, we see what that boy Kabuto was up to, and he's trying to butter up the Masked Man so that they can work together. And the Masked Man pretty much thought that they were going to get it on, but after seeing the puppets that he had, these powerful men back, and the ability to reanimate them, he realized that Kabuto could help his plans for world domination at least a little bit. Meanwhile, Killer Bee makes Naruto fight a dark version of himself to control the Nine Tails, and it takes him like a little while, so I'll just kind of show you the brief things. But for the most part, it talked about his childhood and how they didn't actually care for him, and it was mostly saying some real ass stuff which like hurt Naruto, and it took him a while to properly beat it, to own on to being able to take on the Nine Tails. But this was all just a part of his training. We'll move past it.
They hadn't spent years looking down on me for being the Nine Tails.
I mean, that was facts.
Trust them.
I always think this when I always think this when I watch Naruto.
Trust them to begin with.
I'm like, you just left the fact that they just left you in the corner.
Am I right or
If you were
wrong?
curious though, the way that Naruto deals with it is just by embracing his darker half, just showing it some love, and you know, it found peace from that, which it just hasn't felt. Which leads to a straight up battle with the Nine Tails Fox, which of course I put on legend mode. So I'm gonna show you all the highlights from that one. As Naruto is extracting chakra from the Nine-Tailed Fox, he ends up going through something, his eye turns red and he meets his mother in another like white space, but a little more golden, warming this time. Upon meeting her, he is able to talk to her, and she tells him about how she was kidnapped on a mission and saved by Minato. They ended up just falling in love. She said she originally hoped that he would have had like a better life, but you know, we got that beast sealed in him. It is what it is. We gonna move past it, but it was a little bit touching. For right now, he just got the main speech about how the dad was a good ninja and he had saved her, and then we go right back to the battle. The chains actually came from his mother because Kushina's powers are the chains, so at this point we get to like hold him down for some free hits, kind of like you can with that first boss at Elden Ring. Now we can buy that item. Imagine getting nailed by that much Rasengans at the same time. That shit would be awful. Then having your soul snatched from your body and it's not even in the soul. Oh man, Kurama got it bad this day. And this is how Naruto acquired the QB Link form. Now we go back to his conversation with Kushina, but I think that it was real hard how he just twisted his stomach and everything fell. But yeah, she meant for him to have a better life and he didn't. It is what it is. I blame Hirozen to this day. Since this is pretty much the arc that they go over what happened to them, I think it's best to just let them explain it themselves since they're already talking.
The energy that is normally used for the seal is diverted to the growing baby, and the tail of the beast seal tends to weaken proportionally. It was October 10th, 16 years ago. By order of the third Hokage, I was to give birth inside a barrier at a distance from the village. This measure was taken in case the seal came undone when I gave birth, and the nine tails got out.
Like, they even did it within the barrier and it still came out. That's a little messed up. She tried. Like, she really tried her best.
In that case, if the contractions start, get someone nearby to help, okay? I'll rush back to
Minato so out of breath. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees.
Minato, you treated me like a child. After all, you went crazy. It took forever for you to come out, and the nine tails went berserk. But little by little, I was filled with happiness that I was having a baby. And then, with a strong little cry, you were born. I'm a father now. Naruto, I finally meet. Alright, I know it's rough having just given birth, but we need to completely suppress the nine tails again.
Struck them damn nurses down like thunder.
Both Hokage and Minato, step away from the Jinchuriki, or else this child will die after its first minute. Who are you?
This guy, Masked Man, is so diabolical. He's threatening a baby that just got born. It just came out, and he's talking about within its first minute. That's awful. Threw him up like a hot potato, then was about to stab into him like some meat. This is ridiculous. Someone needs to lock this man up. Then you find out he put damn bombs on the baby.
Naruto's not hurt. He forced me to use the flying rising jutsu. His target was Kushina, so he separated us. Gotta hurry. The nine-tailed seal has weakened due to childbirth, and that trauma
He's pretty much crucifying Naruto's mother right now. Look at her up on the stake, man. What is this? Ridiculous. Just so he can control the nine tails, so he took it out. Where was the Hirozen at this moment in time? I know that he ends up fighting the tail beast after. This is how the game started, but where was he at this moment? Like, damn. They need a damn distress signal in the village for the Hokage or something. The goddamn bat signal. So Minato, being Minato, was able to get Kushina, but not until, you know, it's too late because the Nine Tails is already released. So he lays her down, tell her to chill with the baby, and that he about to get to work. So he put on that Hokage jacket like a motherfucking G. Look at him, dripping.
I'll be right back. Did you notice me?
I can't lie, Kushina might have had one of the most tragic, like, just gave birth stories ever. She just gave birth and then she had to go through all of this. Just hearing all of this ruckus, completely weak because the tailed beast got drained out of her, sucked out of her. Even though I thought the host dies after that happens, but hey, she's still kicking it. Like, this is just proving my point. But yeah, as you can see, here is Heroes in fighting, and yeah, he doesn't know that there is the masked man and what's actually happening with Minato, so he's mad confused. But yeah, Minato's currently taking on the masked man as they take on, you know, the tailed beast. We're ultimately where the game started, so that we know the backstory between everything here.
I can't wait to meet you. I hope we can see each other soon.
Gamabunta just curb stomped that boy. Like, do it again. Do it again, big dog.
Sorry.
In a dramatic turn of events, Kushina ends up grabbing the Nine Tails and putting it down after being picked up by Minato and taken to the spot. And with nothing else to really do, she says that she can sacrifice herself, but Minato decides to pull out that Reaper Death Seal and pull some soul out of the Nine Tails, which obviously didn't kill it, but it seems like it did enough, as you can see.
My body's going numb. I can't believe how heavy his chakra is. For Hokage! Alright, now for the Eat Sign Seal. To seal the rest of Nine Tails inside Naruto. A ritual altar. He's planning to seal me up again. Not inside that baby.
That boy said not inside that baby, but we all know that he got inside the baby. Pause. We're moving along. Next main event is actually pretty funny because he was checking out the waterfall that Naruto went to and saw his dark side, and he said that there would be nothing here. So he walks up like the man he is, like this is Might Guy himself. Dynamic entry! And then Kisame comes flying out and got a little bit worried, like what? Hold on, there is something here, but that's not me. Anywho, he ends up throwing down with Kisame, but before they have a conversation, and Kisame realizes Guy still does not remember him, no matter how many times they fought him by this point. Guy just doesn't remember Kisame and just never does. It's a little funny though, because when you kill him with the special moment, like, he remembers him, but I'll tell y'all why he remembers him after. Kisame realizing this the end of the road when everyone else comes, he ends up just letting himself be gone, but before he offs himself, he ends up thinking about Itachi, which I probably would too. Bro's a badass, I can't lie.
Kisame Hoshigaki, formerly of the Hidden Mist.
I am one of the 7 ninja swordsmen. Pleased to meet you, Itachi Uchiha. I've heard rumors about you, that you killed all of your fellow Uchiha clansmen. Murdering your own clan is quite the feeling, don't you think? I'm in the same situation. I understand how you felt, Itachi.
You talk a lot.
I know that. Let's be friends and have some fun, shall we?
Anyone who's ever raised their hand against their own brethren never dies a decent death. So prepare yourself.
Which means you and I are both depraved.
No. No matter who you are, you don't know what kind of man you are until the very end.
Now them words of wisdom were actually pretty real, because like I said, Kisame offed himself only so he didn't give up any information about the Akatsuki. And after he decided to do this, Guy was like, nah, he deadass was a real ass nigga. So there's nothing but respect and flowers. Like, I will remember you from every day going forward, I promise you.
No, he didn't show any movement like that. He's probably... That was admirable. The measure of a ninja's life is determined by his manner of death. Kisame Hoshigaki. I swear to remember you the rest of my life.
As Kisame just met his end, the masked man is pressing up on Konan, Nagato's right-hand female, because this is post his death, so there's no more Nagato. She's the last one who firmly believes in the real Akatsuki. The masked man planned on taking it over anyways. Nagato's plan wasn't really his plan. He just saw Nagato as a pawn, even though Nagato thought he was the group leader. Yeah, it gets pretty deep, but she tells him about how the group is originally Nagato's and not theirs, how the apron is theirs. He says that he gave Nagato the Renegon to even begin with. Like, what? He started this? This is a longer plan than she could ever imagine. And she don't want to believe it. She just calls him out, says it's some baloney. And you know, they scrap it out. This fight is pretty much because he wants Nagato's eye so they can put it into Sasuke, I'm pretty sure. But she wouldn't give up the eye and ultimately beat him. Because Konan believes in the peace that Naruto and Nagato are trying to achieve and not so much what Masked Man over here is. Pretty much killing the Masked Man up until he used one of the Sharingan special abilities that straight brought him back. And from there, he wasn't playing any more games with Konan. Rest in peace. Another reason why he was so pissed though is because once you use that ability, it completely makes your eye useless. Like, it takes out your eye instantly. Then we go back to Naruto, who's mastering his Kibi form and ends up beating the living hell out of Killer Bee. Once they get their fill of training, we see what Kabuto is up to when he brought back Deidara. But before they can go bother Killer Bee and Naruto, Onoki steps in. Onoki puts belt to ass on Deidara, and after Deidara realizes the girl is gone, like, where did the girl go? And we get to see that the girl is just throwing down with Kabuto, chasing his ass down, cause why did you think that they would just let him leave? Upon hearing the explosions, Yamato comes for backup, where we kind of find out some of his backstory, cause him and Kabuto have been locked in for quite a while. So Kabuto plans on using Yamato's wood style to power up the Zetsu army, and meanwhile we get to see that the masked man now has the Renegon. After talking at the war table, they realize that there is a divide between the villages having to work together, so Gaara gives them a conversation about his poppy Naruto and how he made him fall in love with all ninja and all ninja are equal, all ninja lives matter. And they were like, know what, this guy's right, we all need to fight for what's right, we all got a wife at home. And yeah, he united all the ninjas just like that. The Talk no Jutsu really rubbed off. Meanwhile, though, cutting over to the dark side, we see they built up an all-star lineup of ninja. They brought back the all-time GOATs, like, gotta catch them all, and they did. They brought back everybody that they could. The only people they couldn't bring back is the people that they couldn't fully recover. So someone like Jiraiya wasn't able to be brought back because they couldn't find his body. Three animated battles start, and we get Konkuro versus Deidara and Sorcery. And it's kind of funny because I killed him with Sorcery. You can't really like beat them too well, so he just decided to seal them, and it was pretty easy. The next battle is Mifune, a badass swordsman, versus Hanzo, a dual wielder scythe person. He's pretty cool too, but there's no match for my Mifune. Like, just look at that. Dusted him. It is what it is. The best man won. And now for a real throwback, Kakashi runs into Zabuza and Haku. He's with Might Guy and Sakura. And you know what? They got beat just like they did the first time. But seeming to have a sense of reality, Haku actually begged to be put out of this in the first place and actually wanted to lose. And before we put the beats on him, Kakashi woke up Haku to the fact that you were loved by Zabuza, like it was a shared emotion.
You did indeed protect Zabuza. You did everything you could. He died from a different cause. Plus, Zabuza never thought you were a tool to use for his destructive whims. Kakashi, don't you say another word. Zabuza! You have no place here now, Zabuza.
This was far more of an emotional battle, but we put his soul to rest. And then we have to take on the swordsmen with Might Guy. These are the swordsmen who were originally killed by his father, Might Guy. Because one day they were walking, they straight got jumped by the swordsman, and he had to, you know, pop the gates open to fight them and ended up ultimately dying. So, this is the rematch. He's gonna beat their ass for his pops. And of course I did it on Legend, and my guy, being the G that he is, takes on every single one at the same time because he's just, you know, Might Guy. After this, we get the final cutscene to the Zabuza battle.
Zabuza, remember, you hesitated to slice through Haku that day. But things are different now. You're just an emotionless tool of... Now then, let's see the true power of the demon of the hidden mist. Let's just get this senseless fight over with. The manners of death in your tears. If I were able, I would want to go to the same place, on the other side, as you. They demonstrated your bond to each other. I feel the same.
Next up, with Darui had to fight some of the strongest brothers out of his village. But of course he came out on top because New Gen gonna beat out the last gen. That's just how it is sometimes. You know what it is. But yeah, he had to take on the 2-on-1. It wasn't easy, but he won.
I already told you that I was going to strip away your gold and silver coating. Sorry.
Next up was Shikamaru and his team versus their own sensei, Asuma. Which, you know, we had to put his soul back to rest too. Rest in peace to our boy.
No way out of this one. Nice work. That's what I want to see. Keep it up, and you'll be the strongest of them all. Now you've got it. The confidence you need.
The ghetto statue is released by the masked man, so Choji comes up to his full size and ends up putting the beats on it.
Alongside you, Choji. You did well, Choji. You're not really suited for...
Iruka talks with Naruto, but upon stepping outside, Naruto uses his Sage mode and sees all the war that's happening out there and feels horrible that he can't do anything. So Iruka comes clean about it and tells him, yeah, that a whole war is happening, but he has to stay out. But of course him and Killer Bee don't want to, so they head over there. Upon heading over to help in the war though, Raikage isn't very happy, and neither is Tsunade, because, you know, they want to extract the tailed beast, so the best thing was to keep the tailed beast out of their range, but they can't win without the tailed beast. So the only way to prove that to them is to, you know, whoop their ass. This battle ultimately leads to more quick time events, because, you know, they really did have a moment for Killer Bee to let A know that he needs to be on that battlefield like ASAP.
You still don't have my ideal lariat. I surpassed your ideal a long time ago, bro! As long as there are important things inside of me, I won't die. That's the vow I made with you, bro.
Meanwhile, Naruto's pretty much talking to Tsunade about how he wants to be a hero just like his pops and how they've done so much for the village. A wasn't happy getting flattened by his brother though, so he got up in full charge and ultimately just needed to get his ass kicked by Naruto this time, up until they both realized, like, yeah, it's too much, you might as well just let him go join the war. Which, yeah, he only realizes they should just go join the war because the only other man that's been able to dodge that move before is Minato, Naruto's father, so... A has a moment where he's like, hey, y'all surpassed everything that I thought that y'all were going to. You might as well go and whoop some moderate ass the same way that we are. The next main event, Itachi and Nagato end up walking into Naruto and Killer Bee. And although they know that they're under control, they don't really give a damn, and they start fighting. We first end up beating Itachi, who ends up snapping back to reality, and he takes the curl that he put in Naruto's throat all the way back then. This gives him consciousness even though he still is just a reanimated body, but Nagato didn't really get the gist, so Nagato kept on fighting because Kabuto realized that he lost control for Itachi, so he tried to make Nagato end them. Ultimately, they got saved by the bell because Nagato was a little too OP and almost did kill Killer Bee and Naruto, but then Itachi put a stop to it. Tetsuka blade right through that fuck nigga heart. Now let's move right along. Next up, we got all the reanimated Kages pulling up to the Sand Village, realizing that there's a Shinobi Alliance, which they thought may not have ever worked. And then they see that the head of it is Gaara, which, you know, Gaara's pops is there because he was what Gaara was before him. He was like the third Kazekage.
I'd like to reassist for myself.
Oh wait, no, it literally says he's the fourth. First, Anoki takes on Mu because he's the only one that can handle particle style. Gaara gotta dust his pops. Although the Raikage was a lot more powerful than... No, everyone knew that he was this powerful because he took down an army when he died fighting for like 8 days straight, and he wounded the beast that is in Killer Beast, so he's pretty strong. So Naruto sent out his clones to fight him. They did a lot to fight this man, but he's damn near indestructible. So everyone starts throwing hands with the other Kage. Meanwhile, Naruto is still fighting like that main Raikage, but it's just a clone of him. Up until, yeah, Naruto actually comes, fights him, and yeah, realized that he had to use his own hand to beat him. He's that OP that only his own jutsu can take him out. But they got the job done. Just to be bombarded by an even bigger challenge, because the real Madara is actually here now. So his ass pulls up, just ready for all the smoke. This is when he pulls up, goes to the top of the mountain, looking down like these monkeys, and then comes down and slashes through like the whole damn Shinobi Alliance. It was ridiculous. Gaara drops the bomb that the masked man that we know as Madara is elsewhere fighting, so that means he's an imposter and it's the real Madara, meaning who's under the mask. Moving along, we'll find that out later. The first batteries to the stand against Madara is Naruto, Anoki, and that boy Gaara. And after taking the L, he's like, yo, screw it, I still got a Renegon. I can just drop a rock on you folk, and decides to drop like the biggest meteor in damn history. Like, look at the size of that damn stone. I ain't gonna move past my boy Gaara completely meat riding either. Is this divine power? Like, what? But of course, Anoki being a real one with his old ass, he couldn't let everyone just go down with the rocks, so his ass lifted it. So do you know what this nigga Madara did? He dropped a second rock. A second one. To where everyone just was like, yo, this is mod, there's no way. We end up cutting to the Kage like summit, like them having the talk, and they decide that they need to pull up because shit's getting serious if Madara is really on the battlefield, which quite obviously they're needed. Anoki was able to actually stop that though, like he ate that. Meanwhile, Mu tells Madara that the Ninetales is inside of that Jinchuriki, and he's like, alright, I just gotta check. So upon feeling it, the Ninetales talks to Naruto like, ayo, I sense Madara and I'm not going to be his slave yet again. That nigga beat me when nobody's looking. He treat me so bad. So Naruto's like, alright, if you really don't want to go back with him, let's lock in and kick his ass. So they locked in. So I lied to you for plot. The whole time Naruto wasn't there. He actually beat the Raikage with just a shadow clone. He's still headed on the way there, but now he's conserving more energy and just decided to let the shadow clones disperse, and you know, he's gonna be on the field soon enough anyways. As you can see though, the masked man has more Jinchuriki behind him, all reanimated, that for some reason still have the Jinchuriki, so that's pretty mod. But we're moving on to the white Zetsus beating the shit out of Sakura and Arakaly until Naruto pulls up and starts helping Guy and Kakashi and completely destroy the Zetsus. Pulling up, A and Tsunade put that work in on that boy Mu, but then the Kage straight needed to take on Madara, so it's the whole Kage summit versus just Madara, and God was Gaara carrying throughout this thing. But in the game, we mostly play as Tsunade, and we get to put the pause on them, but hey, these cutscenes are pretty wicked. Madara ate that ass whooping just to say solid battle, but it's nothing like when Daddy Hashirama put the meat on me. You're like, oh my god. When Masked Man runs into Naruto, he's playing no games. He pulls up with all of the Jinchuriki that have passed because of literally the Akatsuki hunting them down one by one and getting them murdered. And he just pits them against them. So do you know what Naruto does? Take them all on at the same time because he's a demon, bro. He's literally the nine-tailed demon. He just whoops ass on all of them. A lot of Rasengans, I'm not gonna lie. Because what other move does he have? To be jumped by all of the Jinchuriki just in base form is pretty lame though for the Storm Soul series, so of course we gotta fight all the Jinchuriki in their actual Jinchuriki forms, as Naruto is just in his QB Link and he doesn't even fully turn into the 9-tail. And of course, he beat up every single tailed beast just as, you know, the QB Link form, because that's all it really took. But then Madara, aka Masked Man, needed to step in and start telling him to like lock in, but it didn't work in his favor. Naruto gets swallowed whole, but of course he makes his way out, because when he goes in, he ends up talking to the tailed beasts who are pretty much asking for freedom. So he beats the shit out of Masked Man, of course. Realizing he was a little outmatched though, Masked Man did get the backup from the tailed beasts. And when Naruto starts winning, he has flashbacks on his life like he normally does. And then goes back to fighting. At this point, Naruto was winning, but it's just not enough. So he simply locks in with Kurama properly, and he becomes the 9-tailed Link form. He actually becomes, like, way more powerful, like, completely linked to him. Meaning that Kurama can actually pop out now. And boom, Tail Bomb, the 9-tails versus everybody else's. And somehow, they dusted them, because the chakra behind them. But then they got into the actual battle, and now Naruto is in a full-on beast mode and gotta take on all of them one by one, which of course he won. Realizing he about to take this L though, Masked Man pulls up the Gato statue to try to like even out things and just completely sucks in the tailed beast for it to get a power up.
Seems you're fresh out of chakra. This battle is over. I win. So what about that chakra?
He said this gonna hurt like he ain't hit the nastiest wind-up of all centuries ever. Like, of course it is, Naruto. You just hit him with the power of 3,000 men.
Naruto, I mad you? After all that, can you blame him?
And this, my friends, is where Storm 3 pretty much ends. It's back to his village. He ends up talking with his parents. Everything is all good, even though we clearly didn't end on the greatest note. But everything's being rebuilt, everything is better. Now we're on to Storm 4, folks. The game starts with Hashirama and Madara's battle. They were throwing down for quite a while. Eventually, after this whole like loading screen stuff happens, they get into the real battle. And Madara wasn't playing any types of games. He had the 9 tails go up against Hashirama's wood style,
Moving along.
And Hashirama restricted the Nine Tails movement, and they started to like just straight square up.
Halfway through,
and things were doing up until the swords came into play. Once Hashirama got the swords, he started putting belt on that boy Madara. And Madara didn't really know what to do. This was like the ultimate showdown, and his opponent was just as nasty as he hoped. So he ends up trying to get control of the tailed beast, but he straight has his own like statue that can go toe to toe with it, so it wasn't the greatest idea ever. After completely wiping out mountains that weren't even involved in the battle, they both had an aura farming experience where they both took their form, and then they had a screaming match and then started throwing down. And when we really fight with the big boys, we end up putting Madara's bitch ass down, swinging him around. Like, just look at that. Tailed Beast got bullied. Even with the Susanoo, like, Hashirama Prime was something else. Madara was infuriated as hell though and wasn't trying to go out this sorry, so he re-upped. Hashirama ended up getting his tattoos, and then he just went crazy. He started fighting like the old guy from Hunter x Hunter. Ultimately, there could only be one winner though, and it was Hashirama. And that's the start of Storm 4, folks. So we leave where Naruto was fighting Masked Man. He ultimately cracks his mask, revealing that it was Obito this entire time, leading us down the rabbit hole of who Obito even is. He's Kakashi's best friend from childhood, who after Rin got kidnapped during like this mission here, they sent some kids to go take on like a whole army because they had Minato with them, but Minato was doing his own thing. So these kids had to take on pretty much a whole army, and by the end, Rin got her ass kidnapped. So Obito really wanted to save her, but Kakashi was on some, come on, we can't save this chick, like, use your head, you idiot. Obito went without him. So Obito put up a decent fight up until he got overwhelmed. There was two of them and just one of him. So honestly, the odds don't look good in Obito's favor. He thinks about Rin and gets his second window, and he's ready to fight till a guy puts an end to him. Psych, cause Kakashi pulled up and couldn't let his boy go out sorry like that, cause of course not. So what do any ninja do? They jump their ass. Realizing they're starting to get bested by some straight up kids, they stop playing around and want to put an end to them. But these aren't no pushover ass little baby boys. They are straight up warriors. Kakashi got his eye straight up like struck out, so it's all scarred, like he can't open that like it's done. So Obito starts crashing. He got the Sharingan and went completely crazy to help protect his boy and get Rin back. And this is where they had that nutty tag team work. Just look at it. Lean back, right over top, psych. Oh my goodness. You really thought they was gonna cut him and he just couldn't. But even though they put belt to ass so beautifully, cinematic experience, they couldn't take the L and decided to crumble the rocks that this whole place was made out of. When the rocks crumbled, Obito pushed his Kakashi out the way, ultimately getting himself crushed and rendering him useless. They couldn't free him. So with nothing else to do, he realizes that the powers that he's just awoken, the Sharingan, can still be passed on. So he gives his eye to Kakashi, and that was that. Little did we know, he ended up getting found by Madara though, as almost like a vessel and like a way to keep fear in his name alive. Waking up to Madara though, all that Obito wants to do is honestly just find his friends as soon as possible. He doesn't really care for this dark outlook that he has. But he ends up getting trained by Madara, fighting a whole bunch of Zetsus. It's a little mini game where you have to pick which one is the right Zetsu. He ends up getting stronger just in hopes that he can go see his friends. When he does though, he stumbles across Rin being killed by the hand of Kakashi, because she got in the way so that the tailed beast in her wouldn't go rampant, because this is who he was fighting. Kakashi ends up passing right out after, and Obito goes absolutely nuts and kills everybody that Kakashi was fighting, ultimately still leaving Kakashi alive though, even though he felt hate towards Kakashi for, being the hand that took down the girl he loved. So yeah, he swore to get vengeance on the very people he once loved in the very village that he once laid his head, cause it no longer was anything to him. So yeah, cut to Kushina being crucified, and now we understand why all of this really happened. It's just cause bro's a simp and mad over a girl that didn't even want his ass. Like, if she was still alive, she would have picked Kakashi anyways. But yeah, he started this whole war over a female. This is obviously where the fight with Minato commences. He gets hit with the nastiest flying Raijin known to mankind. And you know what Masked Man did? He pulled a Donzo and just dipped off after that one. Like, his back got blown in. He was walking with the limp. He realized that maybe his sensei is still on another level, and he don't really need to bother with him right now. So he said, peace. We then cut to Madara and Naruto fighting. Ultimately, we win the battle, but not fully. Obito and Kakashi have a moment in the cutscene after, to where Kakashi's saved by the bell, because Obito almost put an end to that boy, but of course he didn't. To where they gotta just start running the ones, but not obviously the ones, because Obito got jumped. Like, what do you think this was? You was really gonna get your fair one-on-one with Kakashi? As if. Anywho. Trying to rely on the ghetto statue yet again, it gets a tail beast bomb thrown at its big ass. Gigantic bomb for a gigantic boy. But we soon realize that it's not enough, since it's already absorbed all of those tailed beasts. It's low-key on another level where it became the 10 tails. Like, it legit became a tailed beast, so we gotta start taking out that now, which is a long battle. It's nothing really like notable. The battle ends in a chase, which I don't even know how bad you'd have to be for it to actually catch you, but then it ultimately gets stuck, and then we have the chance to mess it up once and for all.
Carry out the mission as planned and corner the Ten Tails. Yes, now's the time for your...
I remember being so confused because I thought the Ghetto statue was the 10 Tails, but it's not. So they pull up on the Ghetto statue right after they completely destroy the 10 Tails, shoot out another bunch of bombs, and then just start being assholes who didn't feel deterred at all that they just lost the 9 Tails. Like, it just did not matter. So he starts dropping sticks down. Naruto almost gets murked. Then that boy Neji jumped up and ate it, instead of just doing the rotation. Rest in peace. Kakashi ultimately tries to just warp the Gedo statue, but he's not able to because Obito sees it happening and hops right in the way. So he brings them to a realm where they just start mixing out their hatred for each other. But we'll get into that, because now I'm going to cut into Sasuke's story. We start with Soigetsu and Jugo, Kimimaru, all chilling. They give Sasuke a scroll, where he finds that one passes out chick who has the curse mark still, and he ultimately takes out Orochimaru from the curse mark so that he can properly kill him and prove again that he's stronger than, you know, who was once the idol and top of strength in his eyes. Which, of course, Orochimaru was a little washed up, so he got slapped. But it seems although Sasuke wanted information on this ninja war happening and not to actually kill Orochimaru, because after beating him, Orochimaru tells Jugo to release the Zetsus that are in Sasuke to watch him for the masked man, and then they reanimate the 4 Hokage, because he straight wants to ask them if what Itachi did makes him a hero, and if he doesn't like the answer, he's thinking that he's gonna like beat up the Hokage or whatnot. Yo, Sasuke would've got completely washed the second they got reanimated. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Orochimaru kinda a goat for this, cause without reanimating them, this war was about to be an L for sure. Cause of course they weren't reanimated on the other side, cause I'm not even sure why. Like I guess that they just kept them hidden. But hey, if they were on the other team, Naruto would have got whooped, I'm not gonna lie to you. Heroes then does straight up tell him though, like, yeah, your brother, the GOAT, he prevented a war, he ate that burden all by himself, like I can't think of a realer leaf ninja than that ninja Itachi. And then, I guess that Sasuke was talking about how he was gonna go to war with the village, and Tobirama's like, is this Uchiha serious? He brought us back to talking about doing something to my village? I should lay his ass down right now. And then Heroes, Hashirama is like, listen, we ain't gotta do shit. He ends up finding out that Tsunade and got his gambling issue and whatnot. They have like a funnier moment, a calmer one.
Can't do it. That is your problem, Hashirama. You're soft. I'll do anything to protect our... No, to protect my village, no matter what happens. I believe that protecting the village means protecting the people of the Hidden Leaf, the ninja, no matter what you become.
So this is where he decides that, alright, maybe the Hokages were right, and honestly, I don't want Itachi to have died for nothing, so if he really cared for the village, then I cared for the village. To actually get them started up, though, they straight had a duel, which had a pretty nice cutscene. Upon beating him, they show up to the battlefield and Madara is so excited to see his buddy back in action. There ends up being a whole bunch of like the 10-tail clones, so what ends up happening is they all summon something. Sakura summoned the snail, Naruto summoned his toad, and Sasuke got the snakes that Orochimaru had like used to roam with. So they all get their pack, they end up messing up all of these little clones. But then we gotta like do like this rail grinding thing to end up beating the big ass 10 tails after this cutscene is done. This is when we cut back to Obito and Kakashi completely mixing each other. Shit was so deep that they had flashbacks to the past, the old battles. It was cutting back to the battle they're having right now. When Obito comes out, he's barely even alive, and Madara sees him as weak for it. Madara sees him as almost no use and starts changing him. So, seeing this, Minato decides to interrupt it, and looking properly at him, he realizes that it's been his student the whole time. All back then, when all that happened, it was by his own student. So, he cuts his throat. He drops, but it's too late, and now Obito's turned into the Sage of the Six Paths. So, he gets taken on by heroes and them. They end up whooping him, but it wasn't enough, so straight dad and son team had to, put in that real work and actually get that boy up out of here. I'm just playing because they had to rematch right after with Naruto and Sasuke, so it took more than just dad and son, but I wish that it didn't. Like, to this day, I still wish that it didn't. He ultimately steals a bunch of life from a lot of people to keep the fight going, and this is where it's Susanoo and the Nine Tails versus Obito in this complete bunch of arm form. This also leads to a cutscene. They end up linking the Kurama with the Susanoo, so Kurama gets a Susanoo armor. They're just 2 in 1 now. Completely badass. If you end up dying in this battle, fun fact, you get to see the actual Sage of Six Paths, and he gives you like one choice or the other, like how, Sasuke and Naruto got brought back by him. Like, you're able to be brought back in the game. That's pretty cool.
This is the sword of Nunaboko, in which the strength of my will is manifested. You can no longer defeat me. Okay, let's finish this. Why am I seeing that now?
After this, Obito gets substantially weakened, ultimately leading to the chakra just leaking out and everybody clocking onto it. Naruto and him get transported to some different blue space instead of the white space this time, where they end up battling, and he realizes Naruto is just like he was before he got corrupt, which ultimately makes him have a change of heart, like maybe I could fight with these guys. Madara and him use Rene Rebirth, which ultimately brings Madara actually back to life. So instead of this reanimated body that's just a dead corpse, no, Madara got back his actual body. I think at the cost of one of the Renegon that were in the eyes of Obito. Of course, having the one-up on the leaf now, he ends up tormenting his old rival Hashirama and stealing a lot of energy from him, to where Naruto has to step in and, start putting more belt to ass. But it didn't do the absolute most, because he starts putting chains on every single one of the tailed beasts. Started trying to take even more power from him. Naruto wasn't even able to stop him. Ends up getting his ass whooped, I'm not gonna lie. To where he dies and he gets to talk to the actual Sage of Six Paths, if I'm right, and this is when he died. Realizing that their hope is down, Tobirama steps up and decides to stand up to Madara. He uses the Flying Raijin, gets behind him, and Madara's thinking like, boy, you came up here just to do that? But he's teaming up with Sasuke, even though, he's against the Uchiha, pretty much. But hey, they are a good team. They end up putting the beats on Madara. But again, it's just not enough. And even Sasuke gets killed too, also sending him to the other realm to go talk to the Sage of Six Paths, who pretty much tells them that they're a reincarnation, the same way that Madara and Hashirama is. They've been around for like ages, and they keep coming back. Ultimately, they both wake up at the same time, now reborn as Six Path Sages. Before that though, Hashirama gets one last stand against his old rival. Which ultimately leads to also Madara getting Sage's 6 pass, to where Obito's like, alright, hold on, I'm gonna stand the ground. So him and Kakashi have one good go at him since, you know, the main heroes are still down. That's why they're the GOAT! That's why they're the GOAT team! Meanwhile, though, yeah, Naruto and Sasuke do end up coming back. And before they do, though, don't forget that my boy Mike Guy got up in the ring and started kicking Madara's ass. But it wasn't enough, so he had to pop open them gates and really throw down with that boy Madara, where he got the title, the best Genjutsu user he's ever came across, which is a big thing, because, you know, Madara was around for how long? Many years. He realized that he hit the point of, like, the chakra thing where he'll end up dying, and he's like, what is this man doing? And he found out. He's summoning goddamn white dragons with his kicks. He's beat Madara so nicely, so nicely. Plot armor has done Lee and my boy Mike Guy nothing but dirty. Even might die. Like, he died to less members when it's in the manga than I'm pretty sure in the anime, but whatever. Just look at my boy Guy go. Kick so crazy it took the opponent up into the atmosphere and left them both dropping down. And this would have been the end of my guy. The second you open the 8 gates, you hit a point of your chakra that there's no return, like it was supposed to kill you. Till Naruto came back in Sage's 6 pass mode with ultimate plot armor and touched his chakra and just ultimately, like, got him to at least survive. Like, yeah, he was a little crippled in Boruto and whatnot, but this was supposed to kill him. Guy opened the 8 gates and then die. That's like the first time that feat's ever been finished. Ultimately, Heroes then starts putting the beats on Madara after, but they didn't do too much. Sasuke starts coming back at this point now too, and we see what happened to Kabuto. So this is why he had to change of heart. He ended up fighting Itachi, and he thought he won, till Itachi kept coming back and the battle kept on replaying, and he finally realized this whole time he wasn't even fighting Itachi. The battle has been over for quite a while, and he's just sitting there stuck in a genjutsu.
You're nowhere near perfect.
If the perfect me is the real me, then an imperfect me isn't me. So, what am I right now? After going through the loop over and over, my mind started to deteriorate. I was unable to come to a conclusion and lost all confidence. I don't understand. It felt like various memories were spilling out from inside me. But there was one memory that never faded away. A memory from when I was a child, when I truly felt at peace. At that moment, in that place, I really existed as Kabuto. No matter how much my appearance changes, that memory will never change, and neither will my name. I've always been the same. Ever since then, I've always been Kabuto.
Just consider yourself in the space between reality.
Itachi might just be Madara because he forcefully woke up Kabuto to reality. Like, that's a little nuts. Meanwhile, Naruto's talking to the sage, but I already told y'all all about that conversation. So we'll move right past it. We'll get straight into the battle.
Switch places with the shadow. This is bad! Finally. Obito isn't here anymore. This body is mine now. I gathered up the tail beast chakra and acquired the power of the divine tree.
He ends up snatching the eye straight out of Kakashi so that he can go full Susanoo. Then yeah, we have an air battle that doesn't really mean too much. It was a little bit boring. Nicely animated though. Realizing things aren't looking good in his favor, he's running out of options and he awakens his damn third eye to call on the mother of all chakra, Kaguya. But to release her, he ultimately gets sacrificed by the white Zetsu, who feels like, I'm not even sure, he was just feeling real slimy and stabbed that boy Madara right in the back. So the only thing that could put down Madara was the plot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's a little messed up how it be your own folks sometimes. But this awakens Kaguya and she gets to fight with our main cast. It ain't the greatest battle ever. One of her main mechanics is that she can change the arena we're fighting in, but it doesn't really do anything to her advantage, so I'm not even too sure why. But yeah, we end up putting the beats on her, of course. Obito did his work, but he had to get it put down at some point, so he was the first one to go.
I must protect them. Obito, you... Kakashi, you...
Rest in peace.
Better not come and join me for a while. Survive for everything.
Getting the Sharingan back and feeling some immense pain watching his best friend die yet again, he awakens the Mangekyo Sharingan, ultimately becoming his Susanoo form. Kakashi's such a badass. After that fight though, we get to finally put an end to Kaguya.
How should I put this down? I love you all.
Finally beating them all, we get our final talks. The Sage of Six passed. Congrats everybody. Hashirama gets to look down on Madara one last time. Like, you bitch ass nigga, I told you that your plans for domination would have never worked. Naruto says goodbye to his pops, but the story ain't over yet. Sakura is still meat riding Sasuke, who wants nothing to do with her at this point. So do you know what? He just puts her down. And Naruto's like, what, bruh? Aren't we homies? Like, what? They ultimately have their final battle to settle it all after all of these years. At the same place the first battle was. This is where Storm 4 ends, the ultimate battle between Sasuke and Naruto after all they've been through. Y'all gotta take in though, Sasuke was always trying to kill Naruto and he had to hold back to not kill Sasuke. Like, come on now. It wasn't the most fair, and I'm a Sasuke fanboy, I always have been. But anywho, I'm gonna shut up and let the final cutscene play. After this initial class, Naruto falls straight into the water and just starts reminiscing on everything. How it's so easy for Sasuke to sever the bond, on the people he's lost, the whole journey he's went through to get here, which gives him the second wind to keep on throwing hands with his best friend, because there's no point in just giving up now. It's been how many years?
If he's submerging himself in darkness, then just use your hands to pull him back up. Shut up, you loser. I knew they'd be here. Kakashi-sensei! Yeah, go to them. Say whatever you want, you brain-dead loser. Enough Naruto, stop already! So, he's finally returned. Journey of repentance. You have nothing to do with my sins. Nothing to do with them, huh? See you later. Thanks.
This is my Storm 124 in one video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.